besties. In this video, I have decided to check off some big books off of my TBR. Now, the two books that I decided to read for this video are quite popular on booktube, and I feel like you can't be a booktuber. Well, I mean, I guess you can, but some people will say that you can't be a booktuber without reading these two books. Let me stop teasing you with the books that I'm planning on reading. So the two books that I have decided to read is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Now, this book is crazy popular. Everyone and their mom has read this book, and everyone and their mom, I feel like, has given it either 4 or 5 stars. And this book is written by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I have read a Taylor Jenkins Reid book before, which was Daisy Jones and the Six, and I did not like that book. So I feel like this is going to be very hit or miss for me. I feel like I'm either going to love this book or I'm going to hate it. What I do know about The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is I think it's about this Hollywood starlet that's been married, obviously, to 7 husbands, and kind of like going through the stories of like the 7 husbands, I think that's what this book is about. So that's the first one that I'm going to read. Now, the second book that I'm going to read is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Now, this book is also another one that's insanely popular. So what I know about this book is that this is a book that V.E. Schwab felt like she just had to write. I know V.E. Schwab has written a lot of fantasy type book, and this one, I think The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, is also considered a fantasy, because what we have here is we have our main character, Addie LaRue, who, in the back of the book, has said that she's made a deal with the devil, and this deal lets her like be immortal, but it comes with a caveat of everyone that she meets will forget her. So that premise alone sounds really interesting, because I'm assuming that there's gonna be a bit of a historical fantasy, or in this book, because I've been told like this book is spanning over 300 years. So with that aspect, I'm interested. I've even alluded in previous videos that it seems like I'm gonna like The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue just because of the premise itself is just so intriguing to me. But these are the two books that I've decided to read for this vlog, so why don't we just get into it, and then the next clip you'll see what book I'm reading first, because I don't know which one I'm gonna read first, but in the next clip you'll know. You will know. It's Monday. I meant to vlog my entire day, but my entire day kind of just turned into shit because I got a headache this morning, and that kind of sucked. So as someone that suffers from a chronic illness, like when you get, or like you start feeling sick right in the morning, it kind of just feels like your entire day is over and done for. And that's kind of what happened to me today, but I still had to get up and work and do all that. I did spend my entire day working and kind of just like, responding to emails and stuff, but I knew today was not going to be great just based off of how this morning went. Also, look at all the zits that I'm having. I'm about to get my period, so my face is kind of breaking out, but that's not the point. I started reading The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I know that this is a booktube staple. It's kind of like you have to read this book to be a part of booktube, and this is written by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I have written another book that she's wrote before, and that one was Daisy Jones and the Six, and I actually did not like that book, and I did a whole entire like vlog of it, and if you want to see that, you can go see that. But I did not like that book, and now that I'm reading The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I noticed one thing about Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing. She chooses to write about women that she describes them as being insanely beautiful, and that kind of bothers me. It's like, why can't one of your main characters be like pretty normal looking? So writing about like really crazy, like beautiful women, and these women getting what they want, and to mind you, I'm not bothered by the fact that like Evelyn has, like, she knows she's good looking and she uses that to her advantage. I'm not bothered by it. But sometimes it feels like can Taylor Jenkins Reid write about a normal looking person going after what they want? And the other thing about it is just like in Daisy Jones and the Six, Daisy was quite problematic. I mean, to me, I saw Daisy as quite problematic because she was on drugs and she was helping Billy emotionally cheat on Billy's wife. So that sort of was kind of problematic to me. Like from Evelyn's perspective, she's using her husbands to further her career and for her to get what she wants, which I have no problem with that. I have absolutely no problem with that. And I'm curious to see where Evelyn goes from here. I'm only on husband number 2 and he's kind of a dick. We'll see where that takes me from there. Okay, so I'm about like 75% of the way through with Evelyn Hugo, and I gotta say, Evelyn, she a bad bitch. The woman is using all these men to get what she wants, and I don't blame her for it. Like, good for you. The one thing that's kind of like grating on me with Evelyn is just because she's so ambitious and she wants what she wants, she's not afraid to hurt the people that's the closest to her. Obviously, she's done some stuff with, you know, her main love in this book that doesn't sit right with me. But then the other thing that it kind of made me go, huh? Was because like Evelyn's such a career-focused woman, it was kind of surprising to me that she wanted to have a child. With most books that I've read, like the career women are just, no, I don't want that kid, get it away from me. And I'm kind of in that same vein of just like, I'm a career focused lady and I am going to be child free by choice. I don't want kids at all. So it's kind of like, that's kind of what made me kind of just be like, Evelyn, kids, really? I don't know. But she does love her daughter, and the biological father of her daughter also obviously loves the daughter, obviously. So Evelyn just keeps alluding to saying that Monique, who's writing her autobiography, like by the end of this, Monique won't like her. So I'm kind of afraid another twist is going to happen towards the end of the book. And like I said, I'm like 75% of the way through. So I feel like the twist is a coming. So that makes me nervous. But other than that, so far this is like a 4-star read for me. But we shall see with the ending that's coming up. So I'm gonna get back into it. I'm also working today, so I'm like trying to work and trying to like listen to this audiobook at the same time. The audiobook is fantastic. Like, it's narrated by Julia Whalen, who narrates all of Emily Henry's audiobooks. And yes, girl, yes, Julia Whalen is like one of the few narrators that I can actually stand and is not like 100% grating on the ears. So we're here for it. Let me continue to keep reading and let me just continue to keep going through my work day. It's Tuesday today, so I'm trying to get this done today and then I'll start another book tomorrow. Okay, it's later in the day. I have now finished The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I've got some thoughts. This book is sad. It's very sad. It just ends in tragedy that I didn't see coming for some reason. I have a lot of feelings. Like, I feel like Evelyn is a very complex character. She's not innocent or good by really any means, but she's like doing the best that she can given the circumstances. But then it's like also there's this line towards the end of the book where she says something along the lines of, once you hear the story of my 7 husbands, it'll make that story more interesting, and it's therefore more interesting to hear the story about my wife. So Evelyn, it revealed to us like in the first like 1/4 of the book that she is actually bisexual, and she has a relationship with this woman called Celia St. James throughout her entire life, and that is her main love. Being bisexual, like she does, like some of the men that she married, like she does love in either a friendship kind of way, or that she does love them like emotionally, like body and soul type of way. But her true love is Celia St. James, and kind of just like the book goes through these 7 husbands, like their eras in her life, explaining how she got there. But when I say that Evelyn is not like an innocent person by any means, like she's not. She's made some mistakes, and there is a big plot twist towards the end of the book where it's like, yeah, Evelyn, you did done wrong. Like, what you did was not good. But I think overall, I'm rating this book like 4 stars because it is a complex story about this woman and her life and her ambition. Like, Evelyn is giving like Slytherin energy hardcore, but it's just like a story about her life and her ambitions and how she has this goal for herself, and she would do anything to protect the people that she loves and the career that she has built. So in that sense, I could kind of like relate to Evelyn Hugo, but she does some things that are like, you're crossing a line, lady. So we are now done with this book. It is Friday. I unfortunately did not read on Wednesday and Thursday, so I'm pretty behind. I picked up The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I'm like 30% of the way through with that book. I don't know how I feel. It's kind of slow. It's really, really slow. We're flashing back a lot between her life in the 1700s and her life in 2014. It's kind of slow. I have heard people say that you have to get past the fourth part and then it picks up and it gets good. But I'm like, this needs to start getting good now because I'm almost at 200 pages and I don't know, like it's fine. It's fine. It's a little bit boring, but it's fine. I just got to the part that this is not a spoiler. It says it in the blurb of the book that she meets someone that finally remembers her, and I just got to that part. So I'm like, I hope that the story picks up pace, that we've really gotten to the meat of the story. So we'll see. We're just gonna keep on reading. I am gonna go to dinner pretty soon. I might vlog a little bit of that. We'll check in again later. Okay, I just want to give you guys an update because I have finished The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I have to tell you, I did not like it. I did not like it, besties. And I was vibing with it, and then we got halfway into the book, and I was told when you're halfway into the book, there's this huge plot twist that's happening, and I didn't see it coming. That's on me. But I like the plot twist. Like, I was here for it. When it happened, I audibly gasped. I was like, and then the book took a complete turn that I did not see coming. I want to say maybe at like the page 275 mark, that's when the story just started to lose me. That's when I stopped caring because I did not care about Addie and Henry, that they were falling in love. I thought Henry was kind of boring. And then I also did not really care for Luke. I mean, Luke and Addie, abusive relationship, like toxic. It was, I didn't like it. I did not like it. And then we got to the ending, which Miss V.E. Schwab left kind of like open-ended. I didn't like it. I felt like the story was very repetitive and very cyclical. When we got into the Addie and Luke falling in love with each other, I was like, where is this coming from? The entire time in the book, I was just like, you've hated this man, and now you're gonna give me a left turn and say that you're in love with this man? Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't like it. I'm debating whether to give this 2 stars or 3 stars because my whole thing with this book is that nothing happened. Nothing was happening at all. It was a little bit boring. Yeah, it was boring. Nothing happened. It was slow. Like, I just feel like we were just like repeating the cycle of like, Addie meets someone, they forget her. She struggles for a little bit. She has an encounter with Luke. The whole story, like everybody in here was like very manipulative. Like Henry was manipulative, Luke for sure, 100%. Addie as well, she was very manipulative. I was just kind of like, I thought this was gonna be a 300-year spanning love story, and that's not what I got. That's not what I got at all. 2 or 3 stars, I'm not really sure, but what we are here to do, I got a very special package, and if you watch my first book haul that I did on my channel, I could like link it below, put it as a title card up in the corner. I'm not really sure which corner it's gonna be in, but I can put it up there. But I got a package, and we're gonna open this together because like I said, if you're watching my book haul, then you probably know what I wanted to buy and include in that book haul, but I finally found it for a decent price. Don't get me wrong, this was very expensive, but we're just gonna open it up together here while we are standing in my kitchen. Ooh, the bookseller, really? Okay. Now it's in a second package, came inside this. Now we're in a second package. I wonder if they included any fun bits in here. No, because the other package that I got, they gave me a random highlighter, a postcard that said thank you, and a sticker that I didn't see like fell out of the package, and it was like hidden under a rug. And when I was cleaning, I found it, and it had like pumpkins on it. But here is the other one that we're gonna try to open. Do I also need scissors for this? Nope, I don't. Okay, let's see if there's any fun business inside here. There's not. This is what we got. Oh, I almost dropped it. Yeah, if you watched my first book haul, you know that I hauled the Mystic Box edition of Still Beating, and I did say that I was on the hunt for Lotus at a decent price. The price that I paid for Still Beating was a lot, and I paid less for Lotus than I did for Still Beating, so I guess that's kind of a small win, but let's just take a look at it. Look, oh, you can see that little shine. It's also shiny in the back, and then we have the sprayed edges at the top, on the sides. Yeah, this is also not for reading. This is purely, it's signed. It's signed, I didn't see that, I didn't know that. But yeah, this is beautiful. You can see that. But yeah, I wanted this one, so I'm really glad that I have both Still Beating and Lotus right now. I will say, I did see that Mystic Box came out with the special edition of the Mindfuck series. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. It looks so beautiful, and I want it, but the way that that's going for hundreds and hundreds of dollars on Mercari and like other places, like the cheapest that I saw it being sold for is $250. And I don't know about you, but I do not have an extra $250 lying around to be spending on the Mindfuck series. So I'm just gonna keep my eye out and hope that I can get it for far less than that. But yeah, we're very excited to have this in our possession now, and I'm gonna go and put that on our bookshelf. Let's go and do that together actually. So let me just move you. The way that I'm gonna have to redecorate the entirety of my bookshelf at some point, like this does not look great. That little guy there is kind of random. I don't know where he's coming from. We're gonna put Lotus right here for displaying, and then we're gonna need to get some books to fill up kind of the void in this space. So this is kind of what it's looking right now from top to bottom. But also, so this is my bookshelf, and this is TJ's bookshelf. Doesn't this like look like a bookshelf that a man would decorate? Anyway, that is the update that I have for you. Today is Saturday. Today's Saturday. It's been quite a few weeks since I have finished reading The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Those are two very long titles to say, one right after the other. I had to stew in my thoughts for a little bit because I had to kind of digest what I had just read in order to give you my final wrap up. Now, let's just start with The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I think that I'm going to bump this one up from 4 stars to 5 stars. I kind of sat at it and I thought that Evelyn was quite a complex character, and she's a bad bitch. Like, I will be for real, she is a bad bitch. I didn't agree with every single thing that she did. I feel like she was just a go-getter, and she had a vision for what she wanted her life to be, and she wasn't gonna stop until she got that, but it did come with some consequences and hurting people along the way. Again, I think she's an incredibly complex character, and I enjoyed listening to the audiobook of this, and I feel like it was very well done. In contrast to Daisy Jones and the Six, where I thought Daisy was an incredibly selfish character, just solely for the purpose of just like being selfish and not looking out for other people's best interests. I feel like Evelyn Hugo was also another very selfish character, but there was more complexity to it. I loved reading a story about a bisexual woman and her journey towards recognizing herself and dating these husbands, and then finding her true love that she couldn't admit to herself was her true love until after she had passed. You could see that Evelyn, even up until her dying moment, that she was stubborn to her core and just complex. So this one is getting 5 stars from me. And as you know at this point, besties, I do not give up 5 stars very easily. Now, the second book that I read was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And this one, I feel like I'm probably going to bump this to 2 stars. Even though this was a historical fiction or historical fiction fantasy book, I felt like it was so slow. I feel like Addie went through a lot of things, but at the end of the day, for what? She ended in the same place that she started. Addie is another character where she's just so incredibly stubborn, and she's staying alive just for the sake of staying alive and to spite the devil or to spite death. But what I will say is that for the first like 200 pages of this book, it was very slow, and then that plot twist happened right at like the middle mark of this book, and I thought it was gonna pick up, like, oh my god, we're gonna get plot, blah blah blah, and it just never picked up. I didn't really like Henry as a character, and I didn't really like Luke as a character either. Addie was tolerable, but because the story focused on those three characters, it didn't give me enough to go on. This book is one of those books that's surviving purely on vibes, and it is a character study. But for me, when I read a book, I need plot. I need things to be happening. I cannot stay in the one same vibe the entire time of the book. I need things to be happening. And quite honestly, I didn't enjoy the relationship between Addie and Luke. I know a lot of people are like, they would die for that relationship, but I like didn't care. Like, it kind of smacked you in the face right at the like last 1/5 of the book. I just didn't care, quite honestly. I didn't care about their relationship. I didn't care about Henry. And Addie, like I said, she's just staying alive for the sake of staying alive. Like, she is not going for a higher purpose here. I think she just wanted people to remember her, and at the end of the day, she got what she wanted. She got that through Henry. So yeah, besties, that's all I have to say. Evelyn Hugo is getting 5 stars from me, and Addie LaRue is getting 2 stars from me. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of haterade for that, but it just is what it is. I'm being honest and telling you my feelings about these books. That's all I have to say for this vlog. I hope it was really interesting. I know that I was kind of spotty here and there with the recording. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and a subscribe because it really helps me out. Also, my Goodreads and my Instagram is linked below in the description of this video for you, so please go ahead and follow me there to keep up with what I'm reading or keep up with what I'm doing in my daily life. And so thank you for watching. Have a nice day.